Got it.
Okay, here we are. Hi, Vanessa.
Hi, Loretta.
Thank you for joining me. Oh my goodness, it's been a while now since you finished your mastership, but um, so much has happened, and I feel like you've just really started to really come into, your way as a practitioner and as a healer, and really, I guess, just using and accessing your unique gifts and bringing them all together since you finished. I've really noticed that all come out in you, and I would love you to just share a little bit more about your Reiki journey, and I guess where you're at now. um, how
Awesome.
did you want to start? Just by introducing yourself, and just by sharing a little bit about when we started your Reiki journey as well?
Sure. Yeah. I'm Vanessa, and I finished my Reiki Mastership earlier this year. And I sort of started my Reiki journey about 2 years ago. I think it took me 18 months ago. It did take me a little while to complete. Um, but I guess, look, I started the journey for me was at that present point of time. I had a husband who was in and out of hospital. He was dealing with a lot of pain. I had a dog as well. Well, still have a dog. And so he was also dealing with a lot of stuff, and the dog was in pain as well, little Duke. And I guess, yeah, our relationship or our marriage was suffering a lot because of the pain that my husband was in. And I guess for me, it was really hard for me personally too, watching him. So I got recommended to come to Loretta and have some Reiki sessions. And from there, Loretta had sort of asked me whether I'd ever thought about doing it. And I had thought about doing healing. I've had Loretta and a couple of other women who I'd had healings done with previously say to me that, I'm quite intuitive. And given everything that was going on in my life at that point, personally, I felt like it was a good time to kind of start that journey and see where that led.
Beautiful. You mentioned that it took you a little while to complete, I guess, the entire Reiki journey with me, and also your mastership. I know we kind of start and stopped a little bit because of lockdowns and all other,
Yeah.
and personal stuff that was going on or whatever. But overall, did you feel like, I think, the pace was good? It was nice to be able just to go at a pace that really suited you, and you didn't feel like you had to rush through it, or, did you, looking back now, you feel like it was perfect?
Oh, absolutely. And I'd had in mind, because I know that there is sort of like an average of how long it does take people to sort of complete like their Reiki and their mastership, and I was way above the average. But given that we run a hairdressing salon, and I was managing it at that stage on my own, so much of my time was put into that. I guess I couldn't do it any faster, but I never felt that I was pressured, or never felt that I needed to complete it faster. I was really happy with the time frame which I completed, because I guess it just worked in with my life and where I was at that stage.
Yeah, and I think the most beautiful thing as well, and I see this with everyone especially during their mastership, and also through their other levels, but it's almost as if it happens at exactly the perfect time. And even, obviously through the mastership, you are attuned to, or, a new symbol is activated within you. So there is almost like this new level that you go through every session. And it feels like, although sometimes in between it was a little bit longer than others, it felt like every time that happened, it was just perfect. We would come together, and then you'd be like, oh yeah, like that's what that meant.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I felt that. And yeah, that's what, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was just meant to go the way that it was meant to go, and it just felt right. And yeah, it felt like that was the natural progression.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good it's really, really good to hear. And I think that's important also for us to honor that on a personal level and individual level. Like, we're all on our own healing journeys, and it's going to take different amounts of time for different people, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, yeah, as you said, and as I said, like, just depending on where you're at with your life, where what you're doing, as well as, that's what, can interfere with, I guess, how long the journey does take. But it will, eventually you get to the end and it's amazing. And the whole journey along the way is amazing.
So you mentioned just before that you had been told before, like, that you were intuitive. And I remember our very first session, actually, I was thinking about this, and I remember just connecting with your energy, and I was like, whoa, who is this? Who is this woman? Like, your energy was just unbelievable. And I just felt like you had definitely done this work before, like you were super intuitive. And I remember I kept saying to you, I see you reading cards, like, do you read cards? And I could just feel how connected you were, I guess, to this, spiritual realm or metaphysical realm. Like, it was really, could you just talk a little bit about that? And I guess, was that really the catalyst to learning Reiki? Did you feel like that Reiki would maybe offer you a way to, I guess, enhance that or amplify your connection?
Yeah, I think absolutely. Yeah, I guess for a long period of time, I remember I sort of was connected. I think I remember when I was 18 and someone started talking to me about spirituality, and I was like, oh my God, now it all makes sense to me why I am the way that I am. And, often I felt quite misunderstood by people, and I just had a different train of thought. And I've always been a very, yes, I guess I never really put my finger on it, but yet intuitive person. I'm not a science person, I'm a feelings person. And people found that really hard to believe as well. And I think all my life I've kind of remained true to that. So I think I strayed away from that for a little while. I don't know. I went to London and I got caught up over there. And I guess coming back and starting to do the sessions with you, Loretta, I just felt it was like a sense of coming back home, like coming back around to myself and reconnecting with that spiritual side of myself and that intuition, because so many people, I think, had, I guess, made me doubt my intuition. Like, because when you're intuitive and you say, well, this is how I feel, some people are like, well, that's not really good enough for me. I need some proof. And I just felt, I guess I was doubting myself a lot. And beginning the Reiki journey, and having you actually say that and I guess reiterate what I'd heard before, yeah, really felt for me that it was important for me to start this journey to reconnect with that side of myself. And it did really feel, like I said, that sense of that I was just coming home and back around to the journey that I was meant to be on, that I kind of, strayed off the path for a while.
Oh, that's so beautiful. It makes me feel so happy as well, just to know that you feel like it helped so much.
Yeah.
I know we also explored, different realms, and you were accessing you felt like you were really starting to connect with, I know Archangel Michael came up
Yes.
for you, and you were really starting to receive different messages about things, and your intuition really started blossoming. I feel like, although you were going through a lot of personal stuff, which you mentioned at the beginning, it was beautiful, because you were able to also, we were able to work through that, but at the same time, complementing that, you were also able to just see how protected and guided you were, and absolutely tap into that higher energy and really feel like everything's going to be okay. Like, this isn't, even if I'm, don't know all the answers now, or not everything feels okay right now, or the chaos of life happening and whatever was going on, it felt really beautiful to watch you still be able to lean into and trust into your intuition, and watching that really, and your connection just really blossom, and it was really, really beautiful. Was there anything that you, I guess, anything that you want to add to that experience? And
it helped me so much. I mean, I think it's really important for you to have a team of people around you, particularly when you're going through whatever people are going through in their lives, personally, professionally, whatever is happening. I think it's so important, and you know, connecting with you. And then I had a kinesiologist as well. I think it got me through what I needed at that time. It gave me strength. It gave me a sense of, you know, security within myself. I felt more empowered as a woman, empowered in my decisions and my thoughts. So I don't know if it sounds like a bit cliche or whatever, but I feel like having my spiritual women around me, yourself and Polly, it kind of saved me at that time. I was at a very low point and I was exhausted. I was completely depleted. I was adrenally fatigued, and to get out of bed in the mornings, I just didn't even want to face the day. And if it wasn't for my 2 little doggies that need to go for walks or a business that I had to run, but yeah, it honestly saved me at that time. It was amazing.
oh, that's so nice to hear. It's really beautiful. I think as well, when we are in, I guess, the, you know, experiencing the dark night of the soul, or experiencing such, you know, low times of our in our life, it is often hard to even to connect to the desire of wanting to you know, I think, do any spiritual work. I think, you know, your spirituality tends to be the first thing that goes when you are really stressed out, or really, you know, you're in survival mode, or you're fatigued, or whatever, or your physical health, it doesn't, you know, isn't up there, isn't in optimal state. It feels like for many people, it's like, oh, well, I don't have time to connect, or I don't, you know, I don't feel supported, so I'm not in the right headspace, or whatever it might be. But something that I just noticed every single time was how committed you were, and you never let that go. You knew like how important it was for you to have spiritual practices, and for you to maintain somewhat a connection to your spiritual self, your soul self, and your highest expression, because you knew that, I think, ultimately, it doesn't matter what life was throwing at you at that particular time, or what it does throw at you, you knew that deep inside there was this, you know, there was this optimal state that you have access to. You absolutely did have access to it. And yeah, it was just so beautiful watching you every single session come in. And it didn't matter if you just showed up and you just cried, or you felt like
I cried a lot.
or you felt like crap, or you just were too tired and you just wanted a healing, you didn't want to talk, and it didn't matter. It just didn't matter. And I loved, just your consistent commitment to your spiritual practices, and to really connecting to that truth of who you know that you really are.
Yeah, and you were amazing. You're an amazing healer. It was amazing to just do the journey with you, and just, you know, the fact that, you know, you're just a beautiful teacher, and you're just a beautiful soul. Every time I see you on, like, you know, on Zoom or whatever, I'm like, look how beautiful she is. She just glows. And it was such a pleasure to have you as a teacher, and still have you there as a mentor and a teacher after I've finished my mastership, and as a friend as well. Like, you're amazing.
Oh, thank you, Vanessa. And, you know, I really think the same about you. I have been able to watch you just become, and I mentioned this just at the very beginning, I've really watched you talk about and really own your gifts and really step into them. I love when you say to me, so I did this Reiki healing and I didn't know what I was doing, but like, I love that. I love that so much. It really lights me up, because I now get to see you really stepping into this as a practice and making it your own, because, you know, the Reiki that I teach you is just to guide you into, like you said, coming home. Because I know that you're a healer. I know that you are, and I know that you've done this before, probably in many lifetimes before. And so I love just being able to watch you really reconnect with that, and just take ownership and use your tools the way that you need to, and not feel like you've got to follow any rules, which I know you would say that
I'm not a rule follower.
And, you know, I often joke, like, that's why a lot of students come to me, because they're not, you know, we're rule breakers, right? So it's like this, don't want to do it in a way that I'm being told to, but I really want to do it in my own unique way as a healer and as a practitioner. And it's been so awesome. I love watching you really step into that, and just own it. I know that you are now starting to see more clients and practice, and you mentioned that you've got a hair salon, and I have to say, personally, I've loved coming into the salon and receiving a head massage with Reiki infused, and, you know, your hands, as soon as you touch your hands on my head, it's like I'm just taken off to another paradigm. But can you also, so obviously that's one way people can work with you, but can you also share, like, you as you mentioned before, you're starting to see clients, and talk a little bit about the types of healings and things that you offer as well.
So yes, I do offer a Reiki scalp massage at the salon, which is I feel like all the commentary I get it's very amazing. So I guess it's heightened my massage, because everyone's always said to me that my scalp massages anyway are quite good. But that's also just because I like to connect with people, and I love pampering people, and, you know, and I guess it's that natural progression with the healing as well. So with with me sort of, you know, balancing the hairdressing and Reiki, so just offering, like, I'm more than happy to come to someone's home or have them come to my home when we're not in lockdown, and just offer whatever it is that the guest, I like to call them guests, client. I'm used to calling people guests. Whatever it is that they sort of need or desire, whatever they're going through, just having a chat to them about what's happening in their lives, and then from there working out what it is that we actually need to work on. Is there something specific we need to address, whether it's, you know, I do a lot of cord cutting. Archangel Michael has been very prevalent in my life over the last 12 months. So I do tend to channel him a lot in my healings. And I do tend to cut a lot of cords for people. The other day I did a beautiful healing on someone that just really needed to be held in love, and I had a beautiful angel around me, and there was so much love in the room. It was absolutely beautiful. So really it is about just nurturing what people need at the time of the healing, and having the conversation, and then going from there.
Oh, Vanessa, thank you so much for sharing. You are such a beautiful and empowered soul, and it's been real honor being able to guide you through from Reiki level 1 right through to your mastership. And I'm really honored to still be a part of your life and still be a part of the journey. And I can't thank you enough so much for being part of my life as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you for holding a safe space for me, for just guiding me through the whole way. And I totally love you so much. And thank you so much for just being there and helping me through this whole journey. It was absolutely amazing to do it with you.
Well, thank you. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.